September the 5th, 2018. Welcome to the midweek edition of the Third Down Show. I am your host, T. Wayne the Dime. It's a beautiful day outside. It's a beautiful day to be alive. Yes, sir, it is. Look, tomorrow we'll be kicking off the NFL season officially. Philadelphia Eagles will take on the Atlanta Falcons. I will talk about that. Remember last year I always did Wednesday, talked about the Thursday night matchup. So we will start with week one, day one for the NFL today. But first I'm going to kick off with Florida State. Remember I said I had them as 28-14, maybe 31-14 favorite to beat Virginia Tech at home, and I was really wrong. 24-3 was the final score. We talk a little details about that. Talk about the top 25, how LSU made a big improvement up from 25 all the way up to 11. And we'll talk about the Nike situation. You know what? Let's go ahead. Let's get into it. Let's start off with FSU. FSU, once again, they lost to Virginia Tech this past Monday night on the Monday Night Football for college football. They lost 24-3. You know, Josh Jackson, 2 touchdowns, 16 for 26, 207 yards on the night, while DeAndre Francois went 22 for 35, 233 yards and 3 interceptions. No touchdown passes at all. There was a few controversial calls that should have been a touchdown pass, but Florida State didn't look like themselves at all. And I think that's the major problem that we have, is that they didn't look like themselves. They didn't have a rhythm. Play calling was stagnant. And I think the biggest problem was that they didn't do the small things right. You ask me what the small things is pretty much blocking up front, blocking on the outsides as receivers, getting your quarterback killed. Defensively, they are here to stay. I was very impressed when they made that goal line stance when they was at the 1 yard line and then give the ball back to their offense. But Virginia Tech was probably thinking, this offense haven't moved nothing for us all day. Defensively, we okay. We can let them go 99 yards. They're not going 99 yards. They had no type of rhythm at all. And I think now for Florida State, the biggest thing is, to a degree, if you ask me, is that now you have moved on. You got your butts whipped week one, day one, and all the glimmer and glam is over. Ain't no more having all these celebrities come to the practices and stuff like that. We got to play football now. And one of the commentators made a comment the other day was, said that how people, like historical people, made the comments that, I think Bowden and I think like some of the old defensive coordinators wasn't allowed when Jimbo was there. I'm not too sure. I really didn't hear all of it because I started falling asleep on it. But now it's time to put all that off to the side. Now we want to see some results. And that would have been a good opening statement to beat Virginia Tech. Put all this off to the side. I think now they get the glitter and glam all out. Now you know for sure you about to play football for the rest of the year. I don't see this team. This team will get better. That's a fact. Now, is this team a championship team this year? Hell no. Not at all. I don't even see my own team as a championship team this year. LSU's not no championship team. Not there yet. They still got too many answers to too many questions to answer to find themselves as a championship team. If they prove themselves with the schedule they have, they can prove it, but I don't think we there yet. I think FSU is going to turn this thing around. I do expect them to, I say about 9-3, 8-4 season, if that's what they get this year. I think it will, especially if they go 9-3, I think it's a starting point for next season to find themselves getting back to the top of the ACC. They got to play Clemson this year. They also got to play Notre Dame on the road. Yeah, I don't see them going to Notre Dame beating them guys. I don't know how. Really true, we don't really know what Clemson working with at all because they played a soft body. You know, Notre Dame came out and beat Michigan week 1, and then, you know, it was a great game. You know, they made plays when it mattered. I don't know if FSU on that level this year. But if they go 9-3, Willie Taggart's first year 9-3, go to a good bowl game. Let's just say they find themselves going to, I don't know, go play in Orlando against a nice opponent. You never know, playing Orlando against an opponent like LSU. You win that bowl game, you got momentum going into the following season. But I think now all the hype and all the type of, we had all these celebrities there. I mean, they had a big pack spring game. Jamal Adams was there. He didn't even go to FSU. He went to LSU. You had all the celebrities. Primetime was there. You had all these type of, Plies was there. Titus O'Neil went to Florida. He was there around the program. Now it's time to settle down and do what you gotta do. Win games. And I think that's going to happen with Willie Taggart. I like the man, And I think to a degree, I think he was a little overwhelmed himself. This is the man's dream job. All these people that surround the program are historians. And I guess maybe his eyes got a little big now. Well, now he probably take the glasses off and realize it's football now. So I think FSU's in a good spot. If you ask me, do they put themselves behind the ACC a little bit? Them and Miami took the biggest steps back in week 1. But Virginia Tech put themselves above the spot to compete this year with that win on the road. Virginia Tech have a decent season. They might find themselves at the Miami of last year. Ain't no telling what's going to happen with that one. But I was disappointed. My buddy, he was definitely disappointed. He had one word to describe the whole team, especially on the offensive side of the ball: soft. Special team wise, soft. He wasn't too happy how it went the other night with FSU and Virginia Tech, but I think them boys gonna shake back. I give them about a 9-3 year this season, and or 8-4. But either way, I think they're gonna find themselves in a better bowl game than the Independence Bowl for sure. And I think they're gonna put themselves in position to set them up for next year to be back on the kings of the ACC, if you ask me. So let's take a look at the top 25 right quick, guys. And a lot of teams made big jumps. Some teams made big falls. Let's go from 25 on up. Number 25 ranked team in the country is the Florida Gators. Number 24 is the South Carolina Gamecocks. 23 is the Oregon Ducks. 22 is the Miami Hurricanes, who fell tremendously, went from 8 to 22. Michigan, 21st team in the country. They fell from 14 to 21. Boise is the 20th ranked team in the country. UCF is 19. Mississippi State is 18. 17 is USC. 16 is TCU. 15 is Michigan State. 14 is West Virginia. 13 is Penn State. 12 is Virginia Tech. 11 is LSU. 10 is Stanford. 9 is Washington. 8 is Notre Dame. 7 is Auburn. 6 is Oklahoma. 5 is Wisconsin. 4 is Ohio State. 3 is Georgia. And 2 is Clemson. And number 1 ranked team in the country is Alabama. What's misunderstood don't need to be explained when it comes down to looking at the top 25 guys. I say LSU probably made the biggest jump from 25 to 11. When you be a top 10 opponent, that happened. Then when Miami falling all the way to 22 from 8, that kind of happened. Michigan jumped from 14 to 21. They didn't fall too bad after that loss they had against Notre Dame week 1 on the road that night. Paying attention to it, I think you get a little bit in Fridays when we start looking at a few more matchups besides LSU's. I think the big one of the weekend going to be A&M and Clemson. So we'll talk a little bit about that on Friday. Jimbo Fisher still facing the old rivals, so see if he can knock them down. So we're going to go from there when we talk about A&M and Clemson. Before I get to the NFL, let's talk about the Nike situation with Nike putting Colin Kaepernick on one of their sponsors. Believe in whatever you believe in, just do it. Even if you sacrifice it all. Well, he sacrificed his whole career to believe in police brutality. And some of the backlash that we are seeing from Nike, from all this, now we boycotting Nike. We're not about to wear Nike clothes. We're not about to wear Nike socks. We're not about to do this. We're not about to do that. Now, I thoroughly disagree with it. First thing first, I respect the hell out of Nike for standing up for what they believe in. You want to know why? Because at the end of the day, it takes balls to take a sticky situation like that when you a multi-million dollar, probably $1 billion company, to take a man who's been ripped and ripped through the mud through so many, I got a call from Caucasian people for not standing up for the pledges, for the flag, for the national anthem. It takes a lot of balls. Now, the man took a knee once again. I guess this is what people wants to see. The man took a knee because he wanted to stand up for police brutality. And once again, and this one, white America, I want you to understand, because there are some good white folks in this world. There ain't no doubt about that. There are some good white people in this world. But this one I want y'all to understand is, if we as black folks don't get treated the same way when it comes down to getting pulled over on the side of the road. And that's the truth. It's not like we going about it peacefully. Just like a few months ago when they had them racist people marching, Donald Trump said that there were some good people. But when this man silently protests before the national anthem, he gets hung on an oak tree to a degree. I don't understand that. But this is what I want people to try to get. Please make me understand, if Colin Kaepernick didn't do nothing wrong, trying to bring awareness to how color folks get treated. And now Nike is bringing the awareness how color folks getting treated. And y'all still got a problem with it by boycotting. There was a young man who took a sheet. He had two Nike checks in the sheet. He cut holes in the sheet. And when he put the holes over, he took the sheet and put the sheet over his head. What the hell that means? I know what the hell that means. I'm from the South. That means he's a Klansman. Don't hide behind the sheets. Let me see who you really are. Don't hide behind it. Don't be burning. First thing first, why burn all your Nike stuff when you already paid for it? They still gonna make their money. I'm standing with Nike on this one. You know why? Because this is a touchy subject that needs to be talked about. For the fact of the matter is, we as black people do not get treated the same way when it comes down to the law. And that's the truth. And there's no ifs, ands, or doubts about it. And if you want to see, I'll ask a white person who disagree with me, I'll be asking them just like this. If you agree, take one day and walk in a black person's shoes. I promise you ain't gonna make it out the door. My mother worries about me driving up and down the road. I go see my girlfriend a lot. And my mother always say, if a police officer pull you over, just do whatever you gotta do. Just whatever he asks, just do it. Because I don't want to lose you in this world. Because you're black, you're a big man. I don't want to lose my son to foolishness. And I got to respect what my mother said. My father lives in Florida. My father tells me that all the time. I'm a 25-year-old man. And they still talk to me sometimes, do the right thing. And it's hard sometimes. It's hard sometimes. Because when you see how others get treated is the problem. So I'm standing with Nike. Because they're trying to bring police brutality on the public stage. Now this is bigger than the national anthem. Let me ask you this. This is going to affect a lot of things in the next couple of days. And I want y'all to realize high school football between Thursday and Friday is about to kick off. So let's talk about that right quick. A lot of high schools wear Nike uniforms. I wonder how that's going to affect the next couple of days. In college football, majority of the teams on the NCAA level, that's major market programs, wear Nike uniforms. Last year's all 4 teams in the college football playoffs are Nike-sponsored teams. Oklahoma, Georgia, Clemson, Alabama, all 4 are Nike-sponsored teams. If you want to get technical, Oklahoma switched to Jordan. But guess what? That's still a Nike-sponsored team. When you look at the SEC, to my knowledge, I might be wrong, but the majority of the SEC, besides Auburn, are a Nike-sponsored team, with Florida being the Jordan-sponsored team now, still in the Nike family. You get where I'm going with this, guys? Do you understand what I'm saying? All market programs, so every major college program almost are Nike teams. Look at Texas. I want to see how it's going to affect Texas to a degree. Texas is a Nike program. LSU's a Nike program. I'm really going to see how that's going to act this weekend.